The Datsun 240Z, it was ahead of its time in the 70s. As time progressed and upgrades were available, again, it just made it like more advanced than all its 70s counterparts. It was a car that was perfectly balanced, you know, it was almost like 50-50 distribution. It was 150 brake horse back in the 70s, you know, it was a speed machine. You know, it was a car that handled well, looked well, you know, the functionality of everything kind of worked. You know, this is what the Japanese were famed for, of taking sort of elements of other cars, implementing that in their own industry or their own product, and often improving on it. My name's Rahail Tariq and I am the co-founder of MZR Roadsports, and we're based here in the United Kingdom. So the end product for the client is essentially, in a nutshell, you're getting a fully restored, virtually concourse 240 with the additions of modern technology under the skin, with the addition of us expressing ourselves through the car, with the interior, you know, with the engine bay, with the aesthetics. So what we've done is we've combined engineering, we've, you know, combined design, we've combined luxury, practicality, reliability. I mean, you know, and when you combine all that in what is already an amazing, beautiful car of an era where, you know, this was an era where cars were made how they should be. The 240 was just in its own brand, if you will. You know, it couldn't be really confused with anything else. It was its own product. The whole process begins with sourcing the cars for the clients. We only use West Coast California cars because they are the most solid base of cars to use. You know, once the car goes back to bare metal, that's when, you know, you really know that you've made the right decision by using a California car, because of the, you know, none of them are rust free, but the lack of rust compared to a car from Japan or from Europe or from UK, because of the climate, because of the conditions, you know, the 50-year-old cars now, we will receive the car, you know, probably maybe a month or 2 months later, give the car a full assessment, and then the car is stripped, you know, basically just a shell. You know, the shell and the relevant body panels are sent away to be stripped to, you know, back to bare metal. Once the car's back, that's when we see it in its naked glory. You know, we'll always try and pick a virgin shell. When I say virgin, I mean, we'd much rather have a car that's never been restored, because it needs to be restored to our specification and our standard. Once the car comes back to us from the bare shell sort of stage, it then moves into the fabrication, and the team then will undertake all the necessary repair work. We often replace floors, and there's many areas where, even if it doesn't need replacing, because we work to a certain sort of benchmark and a certain template, everything gets replaced anyway. Once that's all complete, it then handed over to the body prep and paint team, which again, you won't believe how many hours of flattening and polishing, done the old-fashioned way, because that's how you get, you know, if you put one of our cars next to a modern, even, you know, honestly, even like a Ferrari, which has been done by robots, the paint finish is like chalk and cheese. It really is. From there, it's handed over to the assembly team. Functionality, engineering, aesthetics are, you know, the fundamental sort of the drive of what we do. You know, the interior, every single panel is bespoke and made for us. You know, it's often trimmed in Napa leather that is from cars like Porsche and Lamborghini. Again, aesthetics and functionality, the time in designing the seats so that not only they look good, but the comfort factor and the support is there. So, you know, we'd like to think that our cars in 15 years' time, if looked after, will look exactly the same as when the client collected it. Coming to the sort of mechanical side of things, the development side on our brakes, to get the brakes to be balanced with the car, everything's got to work in unison. So it's just an easy car to drive. And an easy car to drive on the limits as well. We've incorporated modern internal handbrake system. The engines obviously are all fully rebuilt performance engines, which range from 2.8 to 2.9. We do a 3.1 stroker. We're also introducing an evolution package, which will have a 3.2 L series engine with a custom crank, very high powered, with sort of 330, 340 bhp. Also introducing a Nissan Straight 6 naturally aspirated double overhead cam unit for the Evolutions, which will be 360 plus bhp. So really interesting driver focused car, introducing a lot of carbon fiber lightweight elements to the car, the body panels, even the interior, the dashboards, the seats, the console will all be produced in very high quality, carbon fiber. Again, functionality in terms of it being a lightweight and aesthetically pleasing as well. Carbon fiber will be painted body colour, so a lot of it is unseen. So, you look at one of our cars compared to, two MZR cars together, but one could be an Evolution and the other could be sort of a standard car. And really, it wouldn't be until you really took a closer look that you'd see the differences. They both would be, sort of a nice looking 240Z. Nothing too brash, nothing too in your face, but, the differences are there for the client to choose. We always have a target in mind of hours on a build, and that target is kind of thrown out of the water often because no corners are cut. 1,500 to 2,000 hours a car is kind of the ballpark figure where we'd be. Often we'd go over that because if we're not happy with something, it gets redone. It's about the engineering, it's about the skill, but it's about teamwork and it's about one vision. When the client receives the car or when we hand the car over, if we're lucky enough to have a client who can come and collect the car, it's seeing that client's reaction, just seeing the appreciation as he walks around the car. And I think all the hard work, and it is hard work, and daily obstacles, everything doesn't always go according to plan. And like anything, any process, it has its ups and downs. But I think when the client comes and sees that car for the first time, I think it really gives us all a boost. But it's the guys on the workshop floor who should be taking the credit, because they're the guys who are working on the cars every day, working with each other every day. And it's an honour to sort of captain that team. It really is. To drive an MZR car is mixed emotions. It really is. You've got the nostalgic essence of the car. It's a 70s sports car. It feels like a 70s sports car. You're wrapped in luxury. You've got the hints of modern technology as you start the car, but it's still a Nissan. It's still a straight 6 engine. And I think once you've set off in the car, that's when the journey literally begins. It's a pure mixed bag of emotions. You feel everything that we've put into the build is felt through driving the car. The re-engineered, the modern technology is there. It's so different. It's so unique. It's got the beauty, it's got the power, and it's got the aesthetics, it's got design factor. It is really just everything that you'd want in a sports car.